We hear the word innovation thrown around all the time, and usually it's tied to another, much more aggressive word, disruption. But what if there's a different way to think about progress, a way to build the future that doesn't involve tearing down the present? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into today with this powerful idea called non-disruptive creation.
To really get our heads around this, let's start with something you and I are both incredibly familiar with. I'm talking about the almost unbelievable power that each of us is carrying around in our pockets every single day.
Just let that sink in for a second. The phone in your hand right now gives you access to more information, more raw communication power than one of the most powerful institutions on the planet had just a few decades ago. I mean, that's not just a small step up. It's a completely new reality for what a single person is capable of.
And this isn't just one thing, right? It's like a whole set of superpowers. If you have a problem you need to solve, boom, you can tap into the world's collective knowledge. Got an idea you want to share? You can reach millions of people instantly. This isn't some privilege for the elite anymore. For more and more of us around the globe, this is just the new standard.
So here's the big question. With all this power at our fingertips, what can we actually do with it? And that brings us right to the core idea of this explainer. Let's get a really clear definition of what we mean by non-disruptive creation.
See, this isn't about fighting over the same old pie, trying to get a bigger slice for yourself. This is about baking a whole new pie. Non-disruptive creation is all about looking past the industries we already have to solve brand new, emerging, or maybe just completely unexplored problems.
We're all pretty familiar with the model on the left, right? Disruptive creation. For one company to win, another one often has to lose. It's a zero-sum, win-lose game. But non-disruptive creation over on the right is completely different. It's a win-win. It adds to our economy and our society without taking anything away. It creates new markets, new jobs, and new solutions where nothing existed before.
Okay, so this all sounds fantastic in theory, but where do we actually apply it? I mean, where are these opportunities? Well, it turns out they're everywhere. They're often hiding in plain sight, right inside some of the world's biggest challenges. Every single one of these massive global trends you see here, they're not just problems. Each one is a seed for a huge wave of non-disruptive creation. These are new kinds of challenges that demand entirely new kinds of solutions.
Let's just grab that first one. As people start living longer, all these new needs are popping up that we've never seen at this scale before. We're not just talking about improving senior care, we're talking about creating totally new markets around emotional wellness, personal health for 100-year lifespans, and even radical new tech like bioengineered organs.
Now let's talk about the sheer scale of these things. Experts are projecting a 50% jump in world energy demand by 2030. That's not just about swapping out fossil fuels for renewables, it's about meeting a massive new demand that requires brand new sources of clean, reliable energy that we haven't even perfected yet.
And it's not just energy. Get this. Over the next 30 years, 800 million people are expected to move into cities just in Africa. That creates an almost unimaginable need for new kinds of infrastructure, new ways to build communities, and new solutions for health and safety that literally haven't been invented yet.
And then, of course, there's our planet, an area of floating plastic waste that's now 3 times the size of France. This is a modern problem, and it demands modern, non-disruptive solutions. Think about it. There's no existing ocean plastic removal industry to disrupt. An entirely new one has to be created from scratch.
And if we want to look even further out, innovators like Elon Musk are already chasing the ultimate non-disruptive opportunities in space. Creating a community on Mars doesn't displace anyone here on Earth. It creates an entirely new market for human existence. The same thing goes for mining asteroids. It adds to our resources without taking from any competitor.
So let's recap. We've got the individual power in our pockets, and we have a horizon just filled with these massive opportunities. The tools are there, the problems are there, but there's one final, absolutely crucial ingredient that we're missing from this equation.
What is that missing piece? What's the one thing that it's going to take to turn all these massive challenges into world-changing solutions? Well, to answer that, let's take a quick look back at one of the greatest examples of non-disruptive creation in all of human history.
When JFK laid out this challenge, he wasn't trying to disrupt some existing industry. He was proposing the creation of something completely new, something that a lot of people thought was pure science fiction. It was a goal that would galvanize an entire nation and completely change humanity's place in the universe.
So when the lead NASA engineer on the project, a guy named Werner von Braun, was asked what it would actually take to pull off this impossible feat, his answer wasn't about funding or technology or politics. It was just 5 simple, incredibly powerful words: the will to do it.
And that, right there, is the essential lesson for all of us. We have the technology. We have the challenges. And the story of the Apollo program proves that what seems impossible can absolutely become possible. The real question isn't about our capability, it's about our choice, our commitment. It's about our will.
So as we wrap this up, the big takeaway is that the future isn't just something that happens to us. It's something we build. With the tools we all have and the massive opportunities ahead, the road for non-disruptive creation is wide open. So the only question left is the one right there on the screen. What will you create?